Monday, January 19th, 2026. I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky. Welcome into our cold weather discussion. Holding this because we have a couple of bouts of some seriously cold air that is on the way for the week, including what we've got going on right now this morning and the opportunity to see some even colder air work its way into our region as we go into later this week. So we're going to spend about the next 10 minutes or so just going over the timing, track of all of this, and even see if we have any snow potential that is going to potentially be coming our way as well. Hope you're staying warm. I know it is the MLK holiday. A lot of schools are out of session. I saw we had a handful of school delays this morning, but for the most part, kids are home. Hopefully they're inside, staying warm. If you have to go outside today, it's all about covering up your exposed skin. Frostbite can set in about 30 minutes. And once you get to an hour or so, that's when you really need medical attention. So it's all about layering up today if you got to be outside. And of course, if you have to travel, your winter weather survival kit in your vehicle in case you get stranded somewhere. Also a good reminder too, gas up the vehicle. Make sure you've got at least half a tank of gas in your car, so that way your fuel pump doesn't have to work as hard and less of a chance of anything freezing. We've been watching some really cool sundogs, by the way, that have been making an appearance in our sky this morning. The really cold air is helping enhance those because what you're doing is you're freezing some water droplets and a lot of ice crystals. The sun's light flows through those and mirrors them, and it creates a very beautiful rainbow circle, kind of a ring on the outer edge of the sun. So if you've seen pictures of those, feel free to send them in. We would love to see those and feature them in the News 8 photo gallery. If we can, let's see if we can go back out to our live look that I've got popped up on the screen right now in Dixon, and you can see just a small hint of a sundog that's ongoing there right now. Right here is where we've got that. The camera, I can't zoom it out any farther to show you the full ring, but yeah, there's definitely a sundog ongoing in Dixon right now, and earlier we had one here in the Quad Cities, but all thanks in part to this cold air. So our weather impact alert, at least the first one, still in place for the majority of today. This morning we've seen wind chills of 30 below zero in spots to the north of us, but overall wind chills will continue to remain negative for the rest of the day. This afternoon, those will be near 10 to 15 below, as opposed to the 20 to 30 below that we've had this morning. Current state of affairs, it was no surprise we got down to zero here, 1 below in Clinton. Obviously, the further north you go, the lower the temperature tends to be, and that's the case. We've had a lot of negatives to the north of us this morning. The main problem with this, though, has been the wind, and it's not oftentimes you can get both the extreme cold and the strong winds to kind of come together like they did this morning. But my goodness, did they ever. You probably heard the wind howling all night long. I know I did. The fact that we still have those gusts approaching 40 miles an hour with these temperatures is what is spelling trouble for the wind chills. 20 to 24 below in the Quad Cities, as cold as almost 30 below to the north of us. And we're not the only ones that are dealing with this really cold air. I mean, this is an impressive surge of Arctic cold all the way up to the north. Look at Duluth. That's not a wind chill. That's a temperature right now of 17 below zero. Minneapolis is at 6. And by the way, what they're seeing in Minneapolis, St. Paul this morning is where we may end up later this week with a stronger round of Arctic air that's going to be coming in. Check out the wind chills. They are biting all over the place. Again, as I said earlier, 20 below here in the quads, but up to the north, Duluth at 40 below. And again, that is where some of our hometowns later this week will likely be heading with a stronger surge of Arctic air. We'll start tracking that in a second. Here's what wind chills look like for the remainder of the day. Still negative through this afternoon, still negative through tonight, but what we're going to do is we're going to lighten up the wind. We're not going to see these strong wind gusts by this afternoon and this evening. Those winds are going to be much lighter. Heading into tomorrow morning, I think about 5 to 10 below on the wind chills looks like a good bet. Into the afternoon, I think we'll see those numbers improve greatly. 9 today will fall to 4 above tonight, chills near 10 below. Tomorrow, a nice turnaround. The fact that we lighten up the wind speeds and we see some sunshine, that should push us into the mid-20s here and keep those nasty wind chills at bay. But there's another round of cold air, so take a look at this one. In fact, I'm going to back it up here, and I want you to take a mental snapshot, if you will, of the color scheme that's on here. So I'll put a pause point on that. I'm going to grab my little pointer. Notice the shade of purple that we have overhead for this Arctic blast today. And I want you to take a look at this shade up here, this very, very light pink, almost white coming in at the top of your screen. I'm going to go forward now to Wednesday when I think we're going to get the warmest day this week. That will bring us temperatures above freezing for a few hours on Wednesday afternoon. And then it will all come crashing down as we go into Friday. And now take a look at these colors. This is kind of where we were today with this kind of a color showing the magnitude of the cold air coming in. This is where we'll be Friday into Saturday. Much, much colder. There may be a few hometowns on Friday that may not climb above 0 for a daytime high. This is going to last through Saturday, and then by Sunday, we'll start to see that Arctic air ease up a little bit, especially in the afternoon. So with this much going on this early, and the fact that we have high confidence in this occurring, you've got a weather impact alert for both Friday and Saturday, and we may trim up the timing on this as we get closer. But right now, for sure, we need one on Friday, and we need one for sure at least the first half of Saturday, depending on the timing of winds and such. But that is going to be, once again, for some really low wind chill values. In fact, I haven't updated this yet, and I'll do it right now, but this one appears more likely to, again, be colder than what we're seeing right now. So instead of 15 to 30 below, it's likely going to be 25 to 35 below for this next round of Arctic air that will be coming in on Friday and also into Saturday. First look at future track. I know it's a ways out into the future here, but I want to show you some of the early numbers that our in-house model is projecting for this storm system coming in, at least the Arctic air with it anyway, later this week. So this is Thursday morning. You know, we're not doing too bad here, but look at what we wake up to on Friday morning. 31 below for a wind chill here in the Quad Cities, but our northern hometowns are going to be flirting very, very close to 40 below for wind chills. Now, it's been a while since we've seen anything that low. Of course, 2014 comes to mind when we had a very close encounter with the polar vortex. I don't believe we're going to get that cold, but this is certainly a serious magnitude of cold that's coming in for Friday into Saturday, not only in terms of temperatures, but the wind chills. Let's go now into Friday afternoon, where it is still 20 to 25 below 0. Let's go to Friday night and Saturday morning, where we're about 15 to 20 below. Then by Saturday afternoon, it looks like the wind chills will start easing a bit, but certainly all day Friday into early Saturday morning looks to be the worst time period coming up for wind chills later this week. Here's what that looks like on the 8-day tracker. What do the actual temperatures do? So there's Wednesday, again, the best day this week for warmth, especially if you need to get that car wash done. You'll want to do it on Wednesday. Tuesday, Thursday, a little touchy because, of course, that can ice over quickly after you do that. But certainly there will not be any car washes open on Friday. There likely will not be any car washes open on Saturday, and perhaps a handful on Sunday. So Wednesday is going to be the day for the car wash. Look at Friday. We'll wake up with readings in the morning, temperature-wise, of 4 below. But as I just showed you there, the wind chill will be close to 40 below for some hometowns. When we get to Friday afternoon, we likely won't climb any higher than 1 degree. That's it. Can you imagine what this would be if we had snow on the ground? It would likely be colder. When we get into the weekend, Saturday, 8 below, some of you perhaps as cold as 10 below as we go into Saturday morning, and then only 9 above for a high on Saturday, and then we'll slowly climb out of that as we go into early next week. But yeah, this late week round of cold certainly means business. Now, the one thing that could amplify that cold on Friday and Saturday and make it even worse would be some snow, if we could manage to get some snow on the ground. Now, there's a couple of systems coming through this week. Most of these will be coming in at night. You can see there's some snow shower chances as we go into Wednesday morning. This is well before the morning commute. And then again, as we go into Wednesday night, Thursday morning, another opportunity to see some light snow showers move through. Now, given the fact that we're going to be a little bit warmer on Wednesday, it may be a little bit more difficult for this stuff to stick. But the reason we're getting such a cold signal from a lot of our model data is because we're building up a snowpack to the north of our region. That is absolutely one of the factors as to why this cold is intensifying. When you build up the snowpack to the north, it acts as that refrigerator and it intensifies the cold, making it even worse by the time it gets down here. Now, areas well south of us, they're going to be picking up some snow as well. We're talking into downstate Missouri, even parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas. They're expecting some winter weather this week. That's where the active storm track is, and that's likely where it's going to stay, at least for a little while. What I'll do is I'll pull up the jet stream pattern here and we'll kind of walk you through what this looks like for the week ahead. So right now, obviously a very strong jet stream centered to the south of us. And again, that's where all the storm tracks are. They're to the south of us. Let's go ahead and take this right on into the end of the week where we show that bitterly cold air coming in. And yeah, you can see a powerhouse jet stream sitting to our southwest. The problem is that jet is just a little bit too far to the southwest in order for it to do anything here in terms of getting a big storm system going. What we would like to see, and I'll put a pause point in this so I can get my little arrow out. We would like to see this dip here that is way, way out in the southwest, right here from Los Angeles to Vegas to El Paso. We would like to see this dip be a little bit further to the east. I would like to see that dip be about right here. But also notice too how this dip is angled. It's angled leaning toward the front, so it's what we call positively tilted. You really want to see another scenario. You want to see this tilted the other direction to get a big storm system cooking up here in the Midwest. That doesn't look like it's going to happen this week. It looks like that's going to be saved for the south half of the United States. Beyond that, getting into next week, the jet stream continues to kind of take a little bit of a break here, and even into next week, you get a dip in the jet stream. The problem is it's right over top of us, and that means the East Coast and the Southeast Coast will still remain very, very stormy. So that's the latest look on what we've got going on with the cold. Again, I know we have multiple weather impact alerts in place, but our goal with a weather impact alert, it is to give you that heads up and as far in advance as we can that we are going to be seeing some impactful weather. And absolutely, when you've got wind chills of 30 to 40 below zero, that is extremely impactful, especially for kids that have to go to school, adults that got to go to work. If you get stranded in that, it's never good news. So we're going to continue to track this all week long. Plenty of time till we get to the weekend, and of course we'll be able to enjoy some warmth on Wednesday, but it certainly looks like things are going to get very nasty here as we get to the end of this work week when it comes to the cold weather. Again, thank goodness we don't have snow on the ground. This would be much worse if that were the case, and we would see numbers much colder than what we're currently anticipating. But right now, looks like we are going to remain snow-free for the most part, at least here in the immediate Quad Cities. We'll keep an eye on a couple of those clipper systems that will go up to the north of us. Don't forget, you can do another check-in with us. We have another live opportunity coming your way, and that is every Wednesday. We have Ask Andrew Live. That will be right at the same time we're doing this discussion here and right where you're at right now on the A+ app. And you can bet we're going to be talking about this cold air during Ask Andrew Live on Wednesday. That'll be at 9 o'clock. So if you want to check back in on the cold situation there for a little bit more in-depth discussion, join myself. I think Peter may be with me again this week. We'll see what the schedule looks like, but we're certainly going to be touching him on the cold air that's coming in later this week. So that'll wrap us up here this morning. Thank you guys for joining me for this quick cold weather chat. Please stay warm. Don't forget about your pets too, whether it's a cat or a dog. Definitely want to limit their time outside as well. Poor Mr. Cooper is going to have to forego a walk here for a day or two till it can warm back up. But yeah, we've got to keep our pets safe as well. They're just like family. We want to keep them intact and in safe. So stay warm out there. Again, bundle up if you have to. Not the end of the world. Just make sure you're layering up to keep yourself warm. We'll keep an eye on things here in the Storm Track 8 Weather Center. Certainly let you know if anything further develops. But for now, for the rest of your Monday morning. Take care, Quad Cities.